everyone. Good afternoon and welcome to this week's episode of Think Tank Thursday. I am Candy Kelly and I'm excited to be your host for this week. Before we jump in, we must give a shout out to our 2022 Think Tank sponsors. We have Embed and Simnox, Party Center Software, Redemption Plus, and Betson, and we are so grateful for their support. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to bring these episodes to you guys every week. As you guys know, the reason we do Think Tank Thursdays is because Trainer Tank believes that we need to spend some time away from the doing when there's so much to be done and spend a little bit of time thinking and learning from others. And that's what will help us grow. And today we have a great guest who has done a whole lot of growing since she came into the industry. So welcome, Natasha. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm good. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what location you own and where they are in the world.
So my name is Natasha Lunce. I own two franchises. I own Monkey Joe's. We own two different locations, one here in Warner Robins, Georgia, and our other one is down in Coral Springs, Florida.
Awesome. And just so everyone's aware, can you tell a little bit about Monkey Joe's? Like what's the demographic, the attraction mix, like what kind of stuff you have in there?
Sure. So we're a children's indoor and inflatable center for children. We mainly cater to kids 12 and under. I would really say our core demographic though is 8 and under. We have inflatables, we have jungle gym and an arcade in our locations.
Awesome. Now you have not always been in this industry. So tell me a little bit about your background and how you came to be. What brought you to Monkey Joe's?
So we coming to Monkey Joe's is kind of like a joke in our family because I worked at Home Depot. I was a flight attendant for 10 years, had children and decided it just wasn't working out being a flight attendant anymore. So I tried the stay-at-home mom thing and that's not my calling in life. And quickly realized that as much as I love my kids, I love to work. And we were at Monkey Joe's for a play date and they had a for sale sign in the window and jokingly, kind of said to my husband, hey, we should buy that. And his typical, okay, whatever. And about 3 months later, we were signing the papers and owned a Monkey Joe's.
Awesome. And then you have expanded since then. So how long did you own that first one before moving to a second one?
We owned the first one 4.5 years, I would say. And then we got our second one 6 weeks before the pandemic shut down.
I should say that's the best possible timing, right?
Yes. So it was excellent timing, seeing as the stores are 8 hours apart, but we made it.
And you've done a complete turnaround on that first, especially that first Monkey Joe's and even the second one there from how it was producing and the success rate of it to where it is now. And so what do you contribute some of those things to that success, that ability to turn around these businesses?
You gotta be passionate about what you're doing. I love to work and I love working with kids and I'd always wanted to own my own business. So that kind of just played into coming in and working, but really upgrading the facility, bringing in the new things that it needed, and then bringing in a staff who enjoyed working and, all of the upgrades contributed with new staff and being consistent.
Speaking of your great staff, you've always had great staff. We worked together in the past. Monkey Joe's was part of my past life before Trainer Entertainment. And you always did Easter egg hunts with your staff, without, and that's one of the things I've always admired about you is you've been able to maintain a great staff. You have close relationships, your staff, but also are able to maintain a professionalism to where they perform for you in the way that they need to. And it doesn't cross the boundary of, oh, Natasha's my friend, I don't have to do that. How do you balance that? I think as people are getting new staff in and all of that, they're always struggling with how do you balance the expectations and the caring part.
So that can be hard. I've always kind of outside of the box, I've always treated my staff like they're my family. I want them to come to work and have a good time because I want to come to work and have a good time. And so I've always went above and beyond for them. I mean, just random things of going to their softball games or their graduations. I just try to be involved in kind of their life, take an interest in things that they enjoy, and then kind of build that relationship to where they are like family to me. But I also do a lot of other things with them as far as like the incentives with the egg hunts that they've been talking about now for the past several months, coming up to it, to just like little things to let them know, like, I wouldn't be where I am without them, because it's not just me working. Like, my staff plays a huge role in what we do day to day. And so I make sure to reward them Starbucks or game nights or, gift cards here and there to let them know that they're appreciated and that what we're doing is, a direct reflection of them and their work ethic too.
Got it. Well, Easter is coming up. So why don't you tell our audience a little bit about what you do for your staff every Easter? Because it has become legendary among your business. So
yes, it has. So this, I think, will be our 6th or 7th Easter egg hunt. So we take about 500 or 600 eggs, and we take, I don't know, $300, $400, $500. We always have the golden egg that has a $100 bill in it. So we hide money and candy all over the store, and they come in, and we have just a big Easter egg hunt that night, and they go wild and crazy. And even my adult staff, my 25 to 26-year-olds, absolutely love it. And, some of them only go home with $10 or $15, but it's just the act of doing something and something that's for them, and it's fun. And I guess you're never too old for an Easter egg hunt.
Guess not. You've definitely proved that, because 6 or 7 years going on. I remember the first year that you did that. So as you came out of working for others and you came into ownership of Monkey Joe's, what's been the biggest surprise for you in making that switch?
I would say the time commitment. I don't think people ever realize what goes into owning a business and the work that the owners have to put in. Just, it's not a 9-to-5 job. It's a 24/7 job, and just the work that I knew it was going to be work, but the time commitment is probably my biggest thing. Is you don't think about the things that break or jumps that need to be sewn or arcade games that have to be rewired in the middle of the night. So I would say the time commitment I've had to put into it.
Speaking of that, there are a lot of skills. We're friends on Facebook, so I see there's a lot of skills you've taught yourself over the last 6 or 7 years. I saw you rewiring stuff.
Yeah, those are things like I never thought I'd have to do. Mm-hmm. And it's just easier to call an electrician, but they're not always available when you need them. And sometimes it's just, you have to learn to do it yourself. Luckily, Jacob has taught me a lot of the skills that I have, but it's also a lot cheaper. It saves you a lot of money to just be able to get in there and sew up a hole in the jump, or to rewire some cords that need to be redone. People are always breaking stuff. So customers are rough. So I've had to learn a lot of different skills that I never thought I would need.
What skills do you think you did bring from, whether it was being a stay-at-home mom to being a flight attendant or working at Home Depot? What of those past skills do you think you brought into and that has helped you as you became a business owner have an advantage?
Like the customer service aspect, because it's been each job I've had I've had different relationships with the customers and things that had to be done. So you're always having to adapt, but just the customer service. And then being a mom, I know from a mom's perspective of young kids, what I want in a facility. And, the things that are important to me is cleanliness and the consistency and the different things like that. So I think just customer service, that's huge.
I'd like to elaborate on that a little bit, because whereas you're great at customer service, you also very much protect your staff and don't let them get run over. Like, it is okay for you to tell a guest that is horrific to your staff to not, like, it's okay for you to tell them not to come back. Like, how did you come to that point that you're okay? Because I think so many people who open a business that cater to consumers coming in feel like they have to bend over backwards all the time and give the guest everything that they want. And you've seemed to have learned over time that sometimes that isn't worth it in the end. And so how did you come to that place and feel so comfortable in that?
That's kind of a hard one. I'm definitely protective of my staff. Like I said, they are my family. And I can't stand to see someone take advantage or scream or yell, especially at a teenager. You can yell at me. I guess as the time has went on, I'm trying to think. That's a good one. I guess I've never really always sided with the customer's always right. I know that people, and when you're in the customer service industry, they always say that, but you can easily get taken advantage of. And that's one thing I've learned at the new store that I'm at, and we've been at for 2 years now, is like they're not always right, and they will take advantage of you. But if you stick your ground, people tend to, I think, respect you more after, and other customers that see that. And so I've just gotten comfortable with telling people, we don't act like that here. We don't say things like that here. Like, it's not okay. And if you don't like our rules, then you can leave. And so I've been very consistent on that.
It's funny how, like, I see you cringing as I ask this question, but I think it's a big deal because sometimes people think you have to bend over backwards to do customer service, but actually when you're bending over backwards and changing the rules for people and being inconsistent or letting people get away with things, what you're actually doing is making the consistent experience for your other guests not consistent anymore. They don't know what to expect, or they say, oh, well, how come that person gets to get away with XYZ? And so I think by being consistent and knowing the things that are important for your culture, we don't act like that here, we don't speak like that here, we don't talk to each other like that here, you are protecting your customer service foundation, even if it means that customers doesn't fit into that foundation. And so I think that people sometimes just get caught up in, we have to please everybody, and we don't.
I think it also shows your staff, though, that you have their back and they never have to wonder where I stand. Like outside food or drink is huge at our facilities. We don't allow it. And so for almost 7 years now, we don't allow it. And so they all know where I stand. So there's never a question on like, well, did Natasha allow that today? Or so, because I am consistent, and with that they can then be consistent and comfortable in being consistent.
They'll know you have their back if someone says, I want to speak to the manager. Okay, she's going to say the same thing I say.
Right.
Other things about not being everything to everyone. As you mentioned earlier, Monkey Joe's is a children's entertainment center. It is geared towards a niche demographic. And so, can you give some advice and tips about a location that does have a niche demographic and can't have something for everyone? Like, how have you been so successful? And, Natasha does over 7 figures in revenue each year, and is super successful in a niche market. And I think there's this myth out there that says you can't do that anymore. You can't be successful if you're niche, and you're proving that wrong every single day.
You have to take what you have and know what you have and focus on that and do the best that you can do with what you have. I can't expand my location. I wouldn't want to expand my location. I'm very content with my the bounce houses and the jungle gym and the arcade. So we've improved on that. And we focus on those things that we have and what we do offer, and we do it the best we can. And we're going to do it better than everybody else in our area that has, we have another FEC here locally that has the exact same things that we do, but we do it better than them. And so I think that's important, to be the cleanest, to have the nice jumps, to work with what I have and do it the best I can, or be the best I can here in the area.
Awesome. Groups. So you are in with schools and churches and all of those things. Are you the one that maintains those relationships? Do you have someone else that does it for you? Here in Warner Robins, we are not big on groups. We haven't been able to get too big into that. So down in our Coral Springs location, that is the one thing I've learned, is they're huge on groups. And so that is one thing I've kind of maintained those relationships with those groups that we do have down there, but it's to the point I don't even have to call out to them anymore. They've already booked last year for this year. But we do try to have my managers have a close relationship too with the groups when they come in, because it's not just me always there. So it's kind of like a both between the management staff. We all kind of cater to them and keep the relationships going. You just mentioned your 2 locations are in Warner Robins, and that's in Georgia for the audience that doesn't know. And the other one is in Coral Springs, Florida, which is close to Boca Raton. Those are 8 hours apart. How has it been going from one location to 2 locations?
It was definitely different than I ever expected. The pandemic played a huge role in that. So sometimes I try not to be as negative as I can be, because that hindered it a lot. And in a perfect world, I would like to see what it would be like to go to another location, not during COVID, not being shut down for 10 months. down there in that store. It has been a huge learning process for me, and I am perfecting that every day. And I still don't have it down the way it needs to be. But I'm learning that having 2 locations, you need to have your processes in place, and you need to have all your little ducks in a row. And that way all of your management staff is on the same page at both stores. Mm-hmm. And even though we do kind of do things a tad bit different, we try to keep everything the same. There's a few things that are done differently, but it's been hard. It's been a learning process, and I'm definitely still learning.
Statistically, just so you know, the second location is always the hardest for anyone, because it was you and Warner Robins all the time. And when you get a second location, it's split. And that's when you learn just what you just said. Do you have your processes like actually documented? Can people follow them? Does everyone know the same thing? Just so you know, as you expand your empire, as I've always joked with you that you'll have an empire. The fourth one, much easier, because the second one's the one that's the hardest for that. All right, so you came from something else and came into the attractions and entertainment industry. What piece of advice would you give someone interested in coming into this industry?
I was going to say run, but then I'm just kidding, because I absolutely love this. I love this industry, and I love what we do. I think just be prepared for the time commitment, especially in your first couple of years. That there's a lot that goes into it, and you need to be prepared for vacations to get cut short. If you can take a vacation, be prepared for your life just to be on hold for a while. And that was something I had to learn. And I couldn't cry when I had to come home from vacation early because something happened at the store, or we had a jump that got a massive hole in it and we had to leave. So there's those little things, but now, be prepared for the time that you're going to spend, especially that first couple of years, I would say.
Do you believe it's worth it?
Absolutely.
Awesome. I have, we like to close Think Tank with a signature question. We ask everybody the same question. Okay. What are you doing on a consistent basis to help grow yourself and or others?
I would say I'm always listening to podcasts that are teaching me more about leadership, because that's super important. Obviously, I'm in a leadership role there. And so those are things that I'm always listening to better myself so I can then better my staff. So I would say listening to those things and just being familiar with the industry and the things that are changing in it and staying up to date on those things.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Natasha, for your time today. If people are interested in learning more about Monkey Joe's, where would you send them to? How do they connect with you?
I guess they could email me at n.lunce@monkeyjoes.com, or if there's a corporate page, monkeyjoes.com, that has a place that they can go and submit, an email or questionnaire forms on there, I believe.
And you got both Warner Robins and Coral Springs on all the socials, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking time out and spending it with me today. I need to also say thank you again to my 2022 digital sponsors. If any of you out there want to be a guest on Think Tank or have an idea of something you'd like for me to talk about on Think Tank, please just email me, candy@trainertainment.net. I'll happily get that on the rotation. And then Trainertainment is hosting its first conference of 2022 in the end of April. It's our sales and business conference. So all of the information is on our website. Check out the details there, and I hope to see you there. Thanks, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Hello, My name is Brittany Betty, and I am the Regional Sales Director and Business Development Manager over at Betson Enterprises. Here at Betson, we are so excited to be a part of Trainertainment this year. For those of you who are unaware of Betson and what we do, we are the leading distributor of coin-operated equipment, and we are a family-owned business that has been around for 85 plus years. Please take a moment to watch a quick video on an introduction on the phased approach and turnkey solution we can offer you in your facility. Thank you so much for taking the time for watching. And if you have any questions and would like to reach out to me, I can be reached at my email at bbetty, BBETTI, at Betson, BETSON.com. Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions or needs you might have in the family entertainment industry, and I would be happy to assist you. Thank you and have a great day.
Are you looking for ways to maximize profits and consolidate systems and processes? Join the Party Center Software and Party Center Pay family. Our suite of solutions makes it easy for you to run your family entertainment center or event business. Our online party booking system makes booking parties and events a breeze. Our point of sale system, digital waivers, and reports will help you simplify steps for your staff and make your guest experience seamless. Our online store allows you to sell products, gift certificates, and other services anytime, even when you're sleeping. But it doesn't end there. All of the solutions mentioned connect with our payment processing platform, Party Center Pay, making it easier than ever to manage your business. Not only can Party Center Pay save you money by cutting out extraneous fees, but Party Center Pay makes it easy to take online deposits or full payments, and we even have a contactless payment option. Paired with our incredible support team and dedicated customer success managers, growing and managing your business has never been easier. Schedule a call with us today to learn more.
My wife and I, this is a partnership with her and I, so we both agreed that, in creating Scary Strokes, that we want to make sure that we have the best available of everything. Embed just seemed like the perfect fit. It was pretty streamlined and had the point of sales and the software for the redemption, and it just seemed, natural to us. So we've been with Embed since the very beginning. And so when Embed, was introducing the mobile wallet, it seemed like a good opportunity for us to jump on, and it's wonderful. I mean, you reload your card from it, you redeem your tickets from it. There's nothing not to like about it. I mean, it's very convenient. It's very clever for sure.
Empowering your employees to manage your redemption area with confidence can be a challenge. The redemption counter is often the last stop your customers make before leaving your facility. That's why we do everything we can to help your staff make that experience one worth returning for. Our service packages allow you to reap the benefits of expertise and customer support, no matter where your business is in its maturity. The Advanced and Pro Service Bundles are unmatched by any other redemption provider in the industry. They allow you to get the support you need when you need it. Gain confidence in your redemption program, knowing your employees are taking advantage of benefits like exclusive redemption training, regular planogram refreshes, product performance and spending reports, and much more. All accessible from an online portal customized to your business. Learn more at services.redemptionplus.com.